So, is vintage glass any good on a modern camera? Most of the time when people are comparing lenses, they put them up against a focus card. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to actually take them out, take some actual video with them, and then you can decide. Some of these lenses tend to be a little warmer. The focus might not be as sharp as a modern lens. You also don't get any of the computer assisted stuff that's in the camera. So all the camera stuff, you have to put the camera pretty much in manual mode and go from there, because the light metering doesn't work. Of course, your focus doesn't work. It can't set the aperture. You have to do that all by hand. All right, headed to downtown Roseville, take some video. All four of these lenses were set up with the aperture as wide open as they go, and I used 12 ND filter on all four lenses. First lens up is the Helios 44-2. Or is it Helios? It's a Russian-made lens. An f2 lens at 58mm. This is Montgomery Wards 28mm lens. Set at f-stop 2.8. That's as wide open as this lens goes. Again, this has 6 stops of ND filters on the front, so that's an ND12. This is my Vivitar 50mm, set at f1.9. This is a pretty fast lens, actually. Again, it has 6 stops of ND filters on the front, so that's ND12. This is a Yongnue 35mm lens. This is a modern budget lens. They go for about $60 to $100 depending on your camera. My only complaint about this lens is the autofocus is very noisy in it. Another thing to consider is when you're working with a camera, especially if you're going to be working with this outside, is ND filters. They let you pretty much control how much light's going into the camera. Where this is useful is it lets you set your aperture to what you want to set your depth of field, and then you can use these to actually set your exposure. So I have a set that I bought from Amazon that's they're actually stackable. It has a 2, a 4, and an 8. So I can stack them and I can get a 6, or I can get a 12, or I can get a, I think I can go as high as a 14. Okay, for each ND, you take your total ND filter number, divide by 2, and that gives you the stops. So like if I went with a ND4 filter, that's 2 stops. I can go down on the f-stop and still maintain a proper exposure. And of course I can't use light metering in the camera because it doesn't work with the manual lens, so I kind of have to eyeball it. And I'm pretty good at seeing in the monitor, okay, this looks overexposed, this underexposed. Using these lenses is a lot more analog. It's not quite as precise, but sometimes you don't want precise, you're going after a certain look.